First, the big story tonight. I've emerged as tested pure gold, says Jayalalithaa, after being acquitted in arguably the most damaging disproportionate assets case against her. Her party said today was the real Mother's Day as fireworks and celebrations filled the air. The contrast couldn't be starker. A case that took 18 years to conviction in a lower court and an acquittal that took 10 seconds to pronounce by the Karnataka High Court.
It was Diwali and non-stop celebration outside J Jayalalitha's post-garden residence in Chennai. This after a Karnataka High Court judge upheld an appeal against a Sessions Court verdict in September that had convicted Jayalalitha in a disproportionate assets case and sentenced her to 4 years in prison along with 100 crore rupees in fine.
It was a matter of seconds here inside Court Hall 14 at the Karnataka High Court, with Justice Kumaraswamy saying that appeal upheld, Jayalalitha acquitted. You can see the photograph there of Jayalalitha as her supporters, lawyers who support her, having made the journey here from Tamil Nadu, actually celebrating, very, very happy indeed.
We are the permanent CM of this Tamil Nadu. Now we are broken all the... We will win.
Madam, we can only ask the Almighty God to prepone the elections, and it's surely going to be done. We're going to prepone the elections, going to be preponed, and Amma is going to be CM, inshallah.
While Amma's conviction by the special court took a good 18 years to come, her acquittal came in just 10 seconds from the High Court. To many, it came as a surprise. The High Court order, however, justified why it had reversed the conviction order of the lower court. The acquittal order said, percentage of disproportionate assets is 8.12%, relatively small and within permissible limit. Prosecution mixed up assets of accused, firm, cost of construction. Prosecution claims JJ's wealth was 66.44 crore rupees. But without exaggerated value, assets are only about 37 crore rupees. No proof that Jaya spent 3 crore rupees on foster son's wedding. She spent just 28 lakhs. The prosecution said it was not given due hearing by the court.
The prosecution has been denied opportunity to put forward oral arguments in the entire appeals.
The acquittal has set the stage for Amma's return as the CM of the state. Chief Minister Paneerselvam, who is expected to resign soon, arrived at Jayalalitha's residence, as also the rest of Tamil Nadu's cabinet members. But no one was reportedly granted an audience. The swearing-in of Jayalalitha is likely by the 17th of May. That is said to be an auspicious date.
AIADMK supporters have been celebrating all across the state, but even otherwise for the people of Tamil Nadu, today's court verdict should come as a relief, because over the last 7 months it was as though the administration and government had come to a standstill, and hopefully things will start moving now. In Chennai with camera person Sukumar, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Well, let's get right to it then. Joining us tonight, Murali Krishna Prasad from the AIADMK's Youth Brigade, D. Raja, Rajya Sabha MP of the CPI, also joining us tonight. Sanjay Hegde, Advocate of the Supreme Court, Shekhar Gupta joining us. And joining us from the Congress tonight, Tom Vadakar. But let me begin with the AIADMK first, which has been absolutely jubilant in all its celebrations right through the day from the moment that verdict came in. Just how triumphant a moment is this for you, Murali Krishna Prasad?
It's been a very long struggle. It's been over 200 days since Amma has not been a CM, and it's like another Diwali for us. It's a victory for Tamil Nadu. As our leader says, truth always triumphs. And she's going to come back as CM, and she's going to put back Tamil Nadu in the growth path. And as youth of Tamil Nadu, the youth of Tamil Nadu are so happy today that the Tamil Nadu is going to be put back in the growth.
And has your leader effectively proved that when it comes to Tamil Nadu politics, she is in fact the original comeback queen? Nothing can keep her down for too long?
Moreover, she's the only savior for the youth here. She has brought in a lot of investments for over 3 years, and there has been a lot of progress in Tamil Nadu. So we can say that she is the only leader who's brought in a lot of reforms and probably a lot of reforms for the youth.
The AIADMK, of course, well, gloating for want of a better word, but enjoying its moment of triumph. What is this really going to signify? Elections in Tamil Nadu less than a year away now. How is this verdict going to change political strategies going forward?
Well, in any case, her party was going to win in Tamil Nadu, given the state of DMK and given the fact that she still has, I mean, she does retain her very large following there. But this will strengthen her a great deal. This will also strengthen her vis-a-vis her position in national politics. It's very different, even if she was not in jail, it's very different from a Prime Minister dealing with a convict and a Prime Minister dealing with an honorably acquitted person. So that is how it changes for her. And also within her own party, not that there was going to be any threat. I saw an event in Delhi where many prizes were being given to cities, and 5 ministers and others, I think 2 mayors and 5 ministers, all belonging to AIADMK were there in their white kurtas, each with a portrait of Amma showing out of the kurta pocket. So there was never a challenge, but from being the boss from outside to being on the top with genuine executive power and status is very different. So I think to that extent it changes the picture for her for the better.
Changes the picture for her. Does it change the picture for others in the state? Varakan, how do you perceive this as?
Well, it's a very interesting thing. Your opening statement, you said that from 18 years to 10
seconds.
10 seconds. Interesting. I have nothing to say about that. But I think Tamil Nadu is in celebration mode, be it what it may. For 7 months, there has been a serious situation emerging there in terms of almost a paralytic situation. But yes, we in the National Congress respect the judiciary and whatever decision has come, and if it does good to the people of Tamil Nadu, so be it. But we hope and pray whoever takes over after the proxy chief minister who was there takes measures and to ensure that the people of Tamil Nadu are progressive.
But as far as the proxy chief minister was concerned, do you believe that the state has suffered in terms of just everything being kept on hold as long as Amma was in jail?
Both yes and no, because the pronouncements are being made by people from AIADMK themselves. They said for 7 months there's been darkness. It's not Congress party that's saying. If they themselves are saying darkness and light and the contrast. But one thing I'm sure that the people of Shivakashi are doing very good business. 8-9 hours of fireworks. Shivakashi is done well.
We heard the AIADMK spokesperson say that it's Diwali for them, it's
That's
Mother's Day
what I
for
said.
them. We're hearing sort of all the hyperbolic statements from the AIADMK tonight. But D. Raja, just to go back to that stark contrast that I mentioned as we began this program, 18 years to reach a conviction taken by a lower court, 6 months in appeal, today just 10 seconds to pronounce that judgment. It's left a lot of people raising questions.
Ankita, as you said, it is an 18-year-old case. Law has traveled a long way, long time to reach a decisive stage. A judicial verdict has been delivered today. And this is bound to have big impact on the politics of Tamil Nadu, number one. Number two, it is bound to have impact on the national politics to an extent. 18-year-old case, and the High Court has taken just 10 seconds or very short time to pronounce the verdict, but it is reported the judgment is running into more than 900 plus pages, and we will have to examine on what basis judiciary has reached this conclusion. That is a different thing for legal experts to do that, but
right.
This verdict is bound to have political impact or impact on the political scenario of Tamil Nadu, A, number one, and B, it will have some impact on the national politics, and we will have to see how the political alignment or realignment of political forces are going to take place in Tamil Nadu, and how it is going to impact the national politics in the coming days. We will have to wait and see all these developments.
Okay, I think those are both very important points that you raise, realignments both within the state and when it comes to state and center equations, and we will go into that in a moment. But first, you know, just to go back to the legal ramifications really of all of this, Sanjay Hegde also with us. I think a lot of questions that are being raised by people today is how there can be two completely different interpretations of the same evidence. The evidence that was considered by the lower court for 18 years and which this judgment today now says was wrongly interpreted perhaps when it gives this total acquittal to not just Jayalalitha but the three other accused as well. I have a few points from the judgment over here, which talks about how the percentage of disproportionate assets was just 8%, which is relatively small and within permissible limits. The prosecution mixed up the assets of the accused, the firm, as well as the cost of constructions. The prosecution claimed that Jayalalitha's wealth was over 66 crores, but that was an exaggerated value. And that there's no acceptable evidence that Jayalalitha spent close to 3 crore rupees on the wedding of Shashikala's son. Just some of the points that are mentioned in this detailed 900-page judgment. And of course, very few people have had time to go through the entire judgment. But some questions being raised over there and that will continue to be raised.
Well, there's an old English judgment which says that an auditor should be a watchdog and not a bloodhound. So it's essentially a question of two approaches. The trial court viewed everything with a certain amount of suspicion, basically went on the thing that Jayalalitha was a public servant. All these three people who were living with her were her conspirators. It was one for all and all for one. That kind of thing, when thinking, when subjected to appellate scrutiny and broken down to individual components, that seems to be the approach of the High Court. The High Court has examined each of the findings of the trial court and looked at whether there was an alternative explanation possible. It has done a detailed accounting job, finally come down to a figure which says that, look, these are her known sources of income. These are the assets which can genuinely be attributable to her. Right. These are the assets which cannot be attributed to her. And when you come down to the final net figure, the difference is about 8%. That is within the tolerance of between 10 to 20% that courts normally give, because the very essence of the section is that somebody has assets which are totally disproportionate. When there is no gross disproportion, a 10% here or there is within the margin of tolerance, as it were.
Fair point.
The High Court has gone on the reasonable doubt route, as I call it, or as we people in criminal law call it.
Reasonable doubt, but you know, Shekhar, to come back to my earlier point,
yes, Nidhi?
A lot of people now raising questions about why there have been these two wholly differing interpretations of the law by a lower court and now the High Court. Do you think this raises questions about the whole judicial process?
See, first of all, this is a judicial process which allows multiple appeals. The very fact that it allows multiple appeals means that there can be different interpretations of the same evidence. Under the Indian system, evidence is only recorded in the trial court, right? Then all other courts, as you go higher up, assess the same evidence.
Right.
Now, we don't complain when this works the other way. I'm just being the devil's advocate for half a minute. For example, say the Jessica Lal murder case.
Right.
Acquittal in the lower court, but complete conviction in the higher court. So it is the same evidence.
But we also have a special public prosecutor today arguing that the prosecution was not really allowed to present its arguments in court.
That's his view. He's entitled to his view. I'm just giving you a technical position that if it's not possible for a higher court to take a completely contrary view, a higher court is not a rubber stamp. Higher court can change a decision. Shibu Soren case, there are many cases. These are cases that we know because they're politicians' cases, or these are celebrated cases, but there are many cases. So anybody innocent convicted of murder will wait till Supreme Court. But having said that, it's also incorrect, in fact, I'm continuing in the same vein, to raise, I mean, to make insinuations about the High Court judge, because the High Court judge will go by evidence available. In fact, if anything, I would say for 18 years, what kind of case did the prosecution put up?
Right.
What kind of investigations were
but
carried
that's
out?
exactly the point, really, about the judicial process, not about the High Court's verdict versus the lower court's verdict.
But there are also gross exaggerations, which is often done because, you know, Jayalalitha and DMK are parties that everybody likes to either do favors to or to squeeze.